Good evening and welcome to the Newshour Agenda. First up, a quick look at the show at a glance. Rahul Gandhi finally drops the H-bomb on Election Commission and the BJP. He says 25 lakh voters in Haryana are fraudulent, while the BJP says this is just an excuse being prepared ahead of their defeat in Bihar. Election Commission asks, why has there been no complaint lodged yet? Will Rahul's vote chori narrative have an impact as Bihar goes to polls tomorrow? And if yes, who will it affect? That's a big debate on Newshour Agenda. Also coming up on the show, 34-year-old Zohran Mamdani has won the mayoral polls in New York City, making him the youngest mayor in over 100 years and also the first Muslim mayor of the Big Apple. With Trump running the federal government and Mamdani now at the helm in NYC, is this a sign of a highly polarized and divided America? We put the focus on that on the case on Newshour Agenda. He was on the eve of the first phase of polling in the state of Bihar. Leader of opposition Rahul Gandhi has dropped what he claims is a hydrogen bomb on the Election Commission. In his briefing, Rahul trained his guns at the Election Commission and alleges an elaborate plot was hatched to convert Congress party's landslide win in Haryana to a loss. Now Rahul claims that there are a total of over 25 lakh voters who are either duplicate, have invalid addresses or are bulk voters. Citing these figures, he says that Congress was robbed of the Haryana mandate. During his speech, he also showed a picture of a Brazilian model and claims that she voted 22 times in 10 booths, sometimes as Sweetie, sometimes as Saraswati, and sometimes as Seema in these Haryana elections. Here's what Rahul Gandhi said. Take a look.
Who is this lady? How old is she? Which state does she come from? And she votes in 10 different booths in Haryana. She's a Brazilian model. That's a stock photograph. And she's one of 25 lakh such records in Haryana. 25 lakh. We have crystal clear proof that they're fake. That they either don't exist, or they're duplicate, or they're designed in a way for anybody to vote. That means 1 in 8 voters in Haryana are fake. That's 12.5%. They have duplicate photos. We have 223 photos in one booth. We have hundreds of photos in the same photo in an assembly. We have the same record appearing again and again and again and again. Now the Election Commission can remove duplicates in a second. They don't do it. Why? Reason. They are helping the BJP.
So let's take a look at what Rahul Gandhi's charges are in brief. This is what we are talking about. 25 lakh of vote chori. This is the total number that he's talking about. He also says that of these 25 lakhs, 5.2 lakh are duplicate voters and therefore their name appears twice in the electoral rolls. 1 in 8 voters are fake, which is a massive charge that he is making. 1 out of 8 voters. He also says that there are 19 lakh bulk voters, or there are multiple such voters that have been put into the electoral rolls, and 93,174 have invalid address or the address zero. Now Rahul Gandhi is using the data that his team has pulled out to claim that the voter list in Haryana is rigged. He further goes on to say that the Congress party lost despite all exit polls predicting a clear victory for the party in the state. And ultimately, it was the fake voters that voted for the BJP in Haryana. Election Commission soon questioned Rahul Gandhi's claim. They've asked, why were there no complaints for a year if the Congress really believed the voter list was rigged? Here's how the Chief Electoral Officer of Haryana has responded. He has responded to say that as far as the number of appeals against the electoral rolls, that's been nil. They've also gone on to say that the number of second appeals against orders of DMs is also nil. Number of objections after poll is nil as well. Moreover, the BJP is now calling this proof of Rahul Gandhi's fear ahead of the Bihar election. They say that Congress has revised its list of excuses even before the first vote is cast in Bihar.
आज उन्होंने बिहार में 2 दिन बाद पोलिंग होगा और उससे हट करके हरियाणा का कहानी सुना रहे थे। इससे साफ मालूम हो गया कि बिहार में तो कुछ बचा नहीं है, इसलिए ध्यान को भटकाने के लिए हरियाणा के इशू को लेके आ रहे हैं।
राहुल गांधी ने अभी से ही मान लिया है कि बिहार चुनाव में कांग्रेस की लुटिया डूबने वाली है। चुनाव बिहार में हो रहे हैं और राहुल गांधी दिल्ली में फर्जी प्रेस कॉन्फ्रेंस कर रहे हैं। चुनाव बिहार में हो रहे हैं और राहुल गांधी बातें कर रहे हैं हरियाणा की, क्योंकि उनको पता चल गया है कि बिहार में महागठबंधन हार रहा है और इसलिए वो अभी से ही बहाना ढूंढने में लग गए हैं। पहले वे हार का ठिकरा ईवीएम पर फोड़ते थे, लेकिन जब वे अपने फर्जी दावे को सिद्ध नहीं कर पाए और ईवीएम को सुप्रीम कोर्ट से क्लीन चिट मिल गई, अब वे एसआईआर के सवाल को उठाने लगे।
You're watching the News Hour at 10.
Taking it across to our guest now, joining us, we have Tuin Sina, BJP's national spokesperson. Tushar Gupta is political analyst. Tehseen Purawala, political analyst, with us here in the studio. We have Ashwini Kumar Mishra, Congress leader, also with us. Advocate Niladri Bhattacharya, political analyst, is also with us. Let me come to you first and foremost. Tehseen Purawala, let's come to the most sensational allegation. The visuals. He's brought in a photo of who he's calling is a Brazilian model. Yeah. Now, his charge, and I'm quoting Rahul Gandhi, is that a Brazilian model voted 22 times. Yeah. Is a claim of the Congress party that this person physically voted 22 times, that the photo was misused for multiple entries, because they are totally different legal and political charges in those two different situations. What is the exact charge that Rahul Gandhi is making?
Thank you so much for having me. Good evening to you, to all the viewers of Times Now, and to my fellow panelists. There are two particular issues, particularly regarding the Brazilian model that the Honorable Leader of Opposition has raised, because we thought that the BJP won with a Gujarat model or a UP model, they are winning with a Brazilian model. But on a serious note, the fact of the matter is simply this, that in the list of the Election Commission, which the Election Commission is not denying, and kudos for Times Now journalism, because you contacted the actual lady in question and she had her epic card with her picture. But in the list of the Election Commission, which it's not denying, is the picture of this Brazilian model. Now, the Election Commissioner, saying something about Bahu Beti Ki Izzat, refuses to give the video footage which is supposed to be given in when a High Court asks for the video footage to be given. So how do you verify whether somebody is there or no? Second, the other very serious allegation is, now let's take the example of a name appearing 200 times in two booths in the same allegations that the Honorable Leader of Opposition made. When we have the technology to remove those names, now I'm not talking about SI, we'll come to SI later, you have the technology to remove it. We are not removing it. What is the Election Commission saying? Why doesn't your BLAs go through it? Now we don't get machine readable lists. Again, the Chief Election Commissioner lied.
No, but Supreme Court has ordered it.
No, it's not. Actually, the Chief Election Commissioner lied with a lot of humility. That's the Kamal Nath case of 2018. And I feel really terrible to use this word lie on Times Now. He did lie because I've read the Supreme Court judgment of Kamal Nath, where it never said don't give a voter readable list. It said it make sure privacy is maintained. It never said don't give a machine readable list, which the Chief Election Commissioner chose to interpret in the way he wanted. And his argument for that, and it's actually funny, is that if he gives, for example, Madhav or Times Now a machine readable list, Madhav can change the list and make sure that the names on the central list are changed. How does that happen? Nobody understands. What was the Chief Election Commissioner saying? Now, all of this can be sorted out with technology. Even the fact whether this Brazilian model or somebody else came 22 times, voted or not voted, can only happen through the access of technology. Why isn't technology being used in a country which is much ahead in technology and pioneers technology? That's the question to be answered.
Okay, let's go one by one. Let's go one by one. There are a number of points over here that we have covered, and let me bring in Tushar because of 2 points. Tushar, one of the points being made is, of course, that if we have machine readable technology, why are we not using it? We have deduplication technology, again we are not using it, because no one has to say that that is the final word. If the deduplication can point you in a certain direction and then you go out and physically verify it, that's something that's perfectly possible. And at the same time, the point of one particular model voting 22 times that Rahul Gandhi has made, but we've done a fact check and we found that hasn't totally added up. At least one particular case, we found that the voter has an epic card with her own face. In fact, let me just quickly play out that bite before I come to the chart. Let's quickly play that out.
22 बार 10 बूथ में इसको वोट देने का मौका मिलता है। कहां की है? ब्राजील की है। हरियाणा की नहीं है, हिंदुस्तान की नहीं है, ब्राजील की है, मॉडल है।
नहीं जी, जो ये पूनम वाइफ ऑफ सोनू है, ये हमारे गांव की लेडीज है। ये इसका पति है सोनू, वो यहीं की है। और ये इसकी आईडी जो है पिक, ये इसका है जी। ये ओरिजिनल लेडीज है और यहीं की वाइफ है। ये किसी ने फ्रॉड बना रखे हैं, ऐसा कुछ नहीं है। जैनमन यही है और सच्चाई भी यही है।
तुषार गुप्ता.
I just want to clarify from Tehseen. Did he just say 200 same names in the same booth? Tehseen?
Whatever the allegations the LOP made, 200, not a Brazilian model. He made another woman.
No, in the same booth you're saying, right?
Two booths. Earlier he said in the Lok Sabha it was in one booth.
Now, Madhav, I'll tell you why Rahul Gandhi's theories have a lot of holes in them.
No,
he claims that a Brazilian... Hold on. Yeah.
Sorry. The Brazilian is 22. There's another lady.
Okay. Let him make his point.
Just to clarify.
Just let him
I don't want him
to
get confused.
Okay.
He may, please. Sorry to interrupt you.
He says the Brazilian model's photo was used on the epic cards of 22 voters. One you have already fact-checked, Madhav. The other 21 electors, can Rahul Gandhi guarantee that all of those electors were voters? No. Can Rahul Gandhi guarantee that all those voters were not using their own images on their own epic cards? No. Can Rahul Gandhi guarantee, as he claimed, that all those voters voted twice even with the ECI mechanisms in place for all the booths? No. Can Rahul Gandhi guarantee that all those voters, the electors who became voters, who voted twice, voted for the BJP? No, he cannot. So Rahul Gandhi's entire propaganda rests on the fact that whatever discrepancies I'm pointing out in the electoral list, somehow all those electors were voters, somehow all those voters were BJP voters. Number two, Madhav, Rahul Gandhi made a very interesting claim. He said 3.5 lakh voters were deleted and all of them were from the Congress. Now the Congress may not remember, but Haryana had around 20,000 booths. So that's an average of 20 electors per booth. Are you telling me in a state where the Congress's vote share is 40%, their booth level agents couldn't even detect the deletion of 20 or 40 or 60 electors from that particular booth in a state where just 3 months ago they did considerably well against the BJP with the same electoral rolls? Point number 3. Rahul Gandhi says we get the final electoral list just before the elections. That's a lie. You look at the timeline, the draft rolls are published even before the election is announced. So all in all, Rahul Gandhi is rephrasing the same agenda, peddling the same lies, just that it's Haryana, so it's a hydrogen bomb. I'm glad it wasn't Nagaland, or he would have called it a nuclear bomb against his own country's institutions.
Okay. Tehseen, respond to that. The point I'm making is very simple. He has a point that the electoral lists are shared with all political parties. Well in time, they can come out and do this. And we are seeing this in election after election. After Maharashtra, ahead of Bihar, of course, we've seen what all has been stated. Despite that, in Bihar, there are no complaints filed. In Haryana, again, much after the timeline within which to file, you know that there are legal limitations within which you can file an election petition and other actions can be taken. We are discovering this data years after an election has taken place. Why is this the case?
Very good question. Let me answer your second, but let me begin with what Tushar said and come to yours. The very fact that there are multiple entries of one name in different booths itself, in my opinion, is a criminal offense. Whether the person voted multiple times, you can prove it or no, can only happen to the video recording or word of mouth. And I get
but
Tushar,
why is he saying it?
Rahul Gandhi.
But why is he saying it? He said that a Brazilian model voted 22 times.
Second.
Surely you have to have proof before you make such a claim.
And the only way to get to that proof is you give the video recording, which they refuse to give. How else can you?
So he's jumping the gun.
No, see, Madhav, you either take Rahul Gandhi's word of mouth, which I agree with you and Tushar. Don't believe him. I completely. But give us some evidence. The evidence can't be Naddaji speaking or sources through Election Commission. The evidence has to be video recording. One. Number two. Now let's go to the second point that you said. Yes, we get a draft roll, which then culminates into a final roll, which is not machine readable. How will I know what is there or not there unless I have something that is easy? Again, it comes to the fact, we have technology. We pride ourselves, the same Election Commission prides itself on having the only technology in the world. We're the only nation that uses only country that uses a EVM amongst the actual democracies, and we pride ourselves on technology, and yet something as basic as machine readable and photo optimizing, we are not doing. And we quote a fake Supreme Court judgment which does not say that.
Okay, Tushar Gupta, you know, there have been errors that have been pointed out in voter list. Okay, quick response, and then I go across others. Quick response.
I like the excitement. I like the excitement of the Congress on all the machine-readable rolls. You know, when the report of the One Nation, One Election came out, it had a very interesting section where it said that under Article 325, the ECI wants to move ahead and create a single digital electoral roll. Will the Congress, not Tehseen, but will the Congress be in favor of that? Because that will actually address all the discrepancies in the electoral risk. But again, one final point, Madhav. Between electors and voters, there is a gap of 30%. In the sense, if there are 100 electors, usually the voters are around 65 to 70. And that is why my question is, are all those discrepancies actually amounting to votes? That's a big gray area Rahul Gandhi is not addressing.
And let me take that question across to Ashwini Kumar Mishra. Ashwini Kumar Mishra, I'm going to give you certain examples of these vote chori allegations since they've come out. I'm just citing 3 or 4 examples. There are others as well. In Bangalore, there was an allegation on a person called Shakun Rani. Rahul had claimed that she voted twice. She came on record, on camera, and said that she voted only once and felt harassed by the allegation. There's another gentleman by the name of Gurkirat Dang, accused of multiple voting similarly. He released a video denying it and warned Rahul that false allegations erode public trust. Minta Devi, whose face was printed on Congress protest t-shirts, publicly asked who gave Congress the right to use her image without consent. And in Bihar, Ranju Devi, who claimed that her family's names were deleted, admitted that she was coached to say so. So this is the track record of certain charges that Rahul Gandhi has made over the last several months, which have completely fallen flat. How do we know that this Brazilian model theory is also going to work out? Because at least one person has come out and said that that's not true. No Brazilian model voted. She herself went and voted.
Madhav, even if it is a theory, which is not, he has given the proof, even if it is a theory coming out from a leader of opposition, do you not think it's a serious issue? Do you not think we should investigate this? And how to investigate this? Because Congress does not have government in all the states. Congress, in spite of winning the Karnataka election, investigated the issue and requested certain data. Written 18 letters to seize Election Commission of India, and how they have responded. CID has written 18 letters.
Why doesn't he give this in affidavit then, sir, as the Election Commission has been demanded? If he is so certain that this is solid proof, give it as an affidavit. If not to the Election Commission, give it to the Supreme Court or a High Court.
Madhav, for God's sake, he is leader of opposition. Do you think he doesn't hold any credibility? His words itself, he represents 50% of the people, and he's putting into the public.
Sir, he is subject to the legal processes any citizen of this country is. He's out on bail in certain cases. He has every right to, approach the courts and file a case. That's what Kiran Rijiju is saying.
Madhav, you need to give data for us to do a complete investigation. Election Commission is shying away.
So you don't have data.
We have
data,
proof,
or you don't have proof?
We have data, but we have not enough data to actually point it out. Like Tehseen said, that we are telling this person is listed in have 22 entries. Now we assume that the person who's having 22 entries will eventually vote for 22 places. If without you giving me the data, how can...
May I ask you, Ashwini Mishra, may I ask you a simple question? In your Supreme Court case, Mr. Venugopal was a party. You could have very well submitted data related to Bihar or any of the states if you have any apprehension. Yet not a single appeal filed in Bihar. Why?
No. Now you are talking about the appeal filed to Election Commission of India?
No, sir. In Supreme, either first of all, there is no appeal filed before the Election Commission of India or the CEO of Bihar. Number one, and number two, if you have data of any violation in the Bihar case which is ongoing, you could have filed it before the Supreme Court. You have both the avenues of justice open to you, but both are not being exercised.
The case on SIR is still sub judice. It is still going on. The case of Bihar SIR is
so
still
that is the point I'm saying. It's open. Why aren't you giving this affidavit there to show that the process is being short-circuited as you allege?
Madhav, let's understand it by a very simple example. In a room, there are 6 votes for Congress and 4 votes for BJP. Let's assume that scenario. Now, how BJP can rig an election or Election Commission can rig an election? Either by adding certain votes who supports BJP or removing votes of Congress. Election Commission has done both the activities in different sections. Even Bihar SIR is following the same step and rigging the election for Bharatiya Janata Party.
But as you yourself admitted a short while earlier, you have some indication, but you don't have solid proof. But to in Sina, the BJP is deleting our voters and is adding its own voters. That's how it's rigging the elections, and that's how it's won elections in Haryana. Please respond.
Madhav, somebody is struggling. Somebody is struggling to get over his Brazilian hangover, but that's another thing. My simple point is we are missing a larger question. You know, while we are discussing this farcical vote chori allegation, what happens to the EVM tampering allegation? You know, today's press conference seems to be the biggest confession that there was no truth in the EVM tampering allegations. Or were they both? In which case, you know, BJP would have won the kind of majority, 80% seats everywhere. So what exactly is Rahul Gandhi trying to say? Number one, EVM tampering was a lie. In the next 6 months, you will discover him moving on to another issue, which would prove that even vote chori is a lie. Number two, when he says that 5 lakh duplicate voters are there, shouldn't he have the gratitude to say thank you to Election Commission, which has removed 68 lakh illegal voters in Bihar? The same person, cries foul in Bihar. And, look at the whole premise of the allegation. Exit polls went wrong. Exit polls went wrong in 2004. It went wrong in 2024. Did we cry? I think, it's about time let Tehseen explain this. What happens to the EVM tampering allegations? Are they dead for now? Has the Congress party accepted that was a lie?
Let me bring in some of the other panelists. Let me bring in Niladri Bhattacharya. Niladri Bhattacharya, it was EVMs, you went to court, that was denied. It was VVPATs, you went to court, that was denied. Yes, some little bit of provisions here and there we have marginally changed, but by and large the process was upheld by the Supreme Court. And this has happened once again in the case of voter lists. It's similar set of charges that are being leveled, and even exit polls. Exit polls were questioned. Now once again exit polls are shown as proof that we were winning this election and we have lost. Can we be so selective as far as our memory is concerned? Niladri Bhattacharya?
Madhav, first of all, I want to say that there cannot be any smoke without fire. And what Rahul Gandhi has pointed out today, basically he has pointed out a smoking gun. So it is for the Election Commission to decide and investigate and find out whether the allegations are true or not. This is the first thing. Second, in Bengal, we have always maintained that SIR is nothing but a silent, invisible rigging which the BJP is trying to bring in through the back door. The ECI is in cahoots with the BJP government and the BJP party, and they're trying to remove the legitimate voters. In Bihar, they beat the SIR by saying Ghuspetiya hata denge, Ghuspetiya hata denge. Let the ECI clarify how many Ghuspetiyas they have removed. If you have the data, you have conducted the SIR in Bihar, please bring it before the people of the country as to how many Ghuspetiyas in so-called language you have taken out from the list. There may be illegal voters who have died and whose names are there, but let us please enumerate to the country how many illegal Ghuspetiyas you have taken it out. Thirdly, the timing of the SIR is very, very important because the 2003 SIR took 2 years' time. And here you are rushing through the whole thing within a period of 2 months. This is nothing but a coordinated effort between the ECI and the Kutsi Babu, as we call him in Bengal, the Chief Election Commissioner, and the BJP.
Tuhin Sinha, answer those two questions. This is nothing but an exercise. You're rushing through the exercise. Of course, a charge that came up earlier in Bihar as well. It's happening similarly as far as Bengal, Kerala and Tamil Nadu and the other states which SIR is being carried out. And he has one important question, though, that I'm going to allow, which is what happened to those illegal foreigners that were alleged? How many such illegal foreigners have been found in Bihar? We don't know yet.
Madhav, like other opposition parties, TMC suffers from intellectual dishonesty. Ask him to do a simple calculation. From 2001 to 2025, the population of Bengal has grown by 31%. What is the increase in total number of voters? 67%. So he will have a good idea of the total number of illegal voters. Of course, it is for the local police and law enforcing agencies to find out, based on relevant papers, how many of them are illegal migrants, which, by the way, Mamata Banerjee has been settling for a very long time, because the moment SIR was formally announced in Bengal, roughly 100 illegal Bangladeshis were caught fleeing away to Bangladesh. Similarly, in Bihar, whether all of those 68 lakhs, of course all of those 68 lakhs voters who have been deleted are not illegal Bangladeshis. They cannot be illegal Bangladeshis, and there is a very clear count of how many duplicate voters were there, how many dead voters are there, but they don't seem to follow newspaper reports. They very selectively assimilate reports. How many of them are exactly illegal migrants will be ascertained based on papers, based on investigation by the law enforcing agencies, but by blocking SIR, you are encouraging illegal migrants to be legitimized in the country. And I think
you are encouraging illegal migrants. Tessim, respond to that.
I am shocked. I am shocked. Sir, please, Mr. Bhattacharya. I am shocked and I'm flabbergasted. The national party and the governing party on the country's #1 news channel says A. The Honorable Home Minister of India is lying because they don't know that whether they're Ghuspetias or no. They still have to investigate, but the Home Minister is going about saying it ought to. If they know, the Home Minister doesn't know, he will only investigate after Election Commission gives him data. Is this what is being said on Times Now? I am repeating to him, what you said, play. You are saying we don't know, investigating agencies will investigate, in which case Home Minister is lying. Or if you know, the Election Commission knows. So what is Home Minister doing?
Okay, let's Rahul Gandhi. Madhav.
Why is Rahul Gandhi in this?
Madhav, I think Madhav, the job of the, I think my friend Tessin does not know the job of the Election Commission. The job of the Election Commission is to ensure that only legal voters vote, which is what it is doing. It is not the job of the Election Commission to find out who among these are illegal migrants. So please don't obfuscate over here. You have every right to be flabbergasted at Rahul Gandhi's allegations, farcical allegations. But Madhav, the only case of a conviction happening based on vote chori is that of the Malur Congress MLA Nanje Gowda. So facts speak louder than words, and I think the should be flabbergasted.
Okay, Niladri wants to respond to you as well. Niladri.
I want to respond to Mr. Sinha by saying this is the list which gave 18 MPs of BJP in 2019, which gave 10 MPs to BJP in 2024. So does Mr. Sinha means to say that the list is faulty? If the list is faulty, then the MPs elected are also faulty. You dissolve the parliament.
To ask for cleaning up.
But Niladri Bhattacharya, the point is this, that if this is faulty and the whole system is fundamentally rigged, then even TMC is winning of the election, or the Congress itself winning elections in Karnataka, Telangana, Himachal, all these things are also rigged.
People are we are saying have an election, have a fair election.
One by one, please. Niladri, question for Niladri, no one else speaks. Niladri.
Madhav, the people of Bengal are with the TMC. We are saying you hold the election and we see who wins.
But there are also people saying that people are panicking and leaving back to Bangladesh.
People are committing suicide because of SIR, Madhav.
People are committing suicide because of SIR?
Yes, there are.
That's a very serious charge you're leveling, sir. Yes. I hope you have enough proof to back that claim.
Yes, we have enough proof that
who and where have these suicides taken place?
There are 12 suicides which has happened over the past 1 week in Bengal because of SIR. There are 12 suicides. Please see the newspaper report. Please see Times of India.
You have the suicide notes?
The suicide notes are also there. The suicide notes are also there because of NRC.
Because of NRC or SIR? Make up your mind.
I'm sorry, the SIR. It is there because of SIR.
Okay. Very serious charge. Do you want to respond to that? Suicides taking place because of SIR. Very serious charge that Niladri is referring to.
No, even in that case, these are the same people, Madhav, who would say sometimes that 700 farmers died in agitation, sometimes they would say 1,500, sometimes they would say 2,000. So you have to take them with a pinch of salt. TMC is a party which is committed to expanding the base of illegal migrants in the country. It is the only thing TMC can do is work up anarchy. But let me assure you on your show, let me assure the country
Let me come in now. Yeah, allow me to come in. Let's not get into this aspect of, ultimately the SIR is a process that is, as per law, it is allowed. Election Commission's mandate is there to look into it. But I must ask a simple question of the Congress party and Ashwini Kumar Mishra. Ashwini Kumar Mishra, Rahul Gandhi today comes out and says it's not my fault if the voter list is faulty. Is that really correct? Because as far as the Election Commission's process is concerned, the verification of voter lists at the booth level is the direct responsibility of political parties and the booth level agents. How can political parties in such a participative process run away from their own responsibilities, sir?
Madhav, before I answer a question, just let me add one point about the infiltrators. BJP is talking about infiltrators, but do you really know the data? We share 4,000 kilometers border with Bangladesh. Out of that, 2,700 kilometers is fenced by UPA government. And in last 11 years, they could only fence 400
what
kilometers.
What does this have to do with SIR?
Now, they are talking about infiltrators everywhere. They found 0 infiltrators in Bihar.
So please answer my question. Okay, you made your point. Now answer the question I asked you.
Now coming back to the clean voter list, it is the responsibility of Election Commission of India to have a clean voter list. Now, clean voter list doesn't mean single address having multiple entries, same person having 22, 25 or 100 odd voters. One house in
so political parties have no responsibility.
4,000.
So why should the draft voter list then even go to political parties, sir? Please tell me. Why does the draft voter list go to political parties, Ashwini Kumar Mishra?
They can act only when
Ashwini Kumar Mishra, of course it's the Election Commission's duty, it's their responsibility. But why do draft voter lists go to political parties? Why are the various forms after voting, before voting, why do they go to political parties? So that you have a record and a check over the system and you can complain.
Are we getting machine readable data, Madhav? Do you give me a hard copy and say verify the voter list? How do you expect us to
So all earlier elections, whether Congress party won, whether it's 2004, 2009 and there wasn't machine readable data, those elections were not rigged, but these are.
Madhav,
of course, this is a serious problem. I am telling you, Tehseen Poonawalla, this is a historic problem. This is a historic problem that has not started today. It has not started today, but the same standards, I am just saying that the same standards should apply to all governments. Let that happen throughout. Then there may be software. See, nobody is denying. Let me explain my position. I am not saying that deduplication softwares or other technological solutions should not be put in. But I'm just saying that suddenly waking up to the fact that there are issues with voter lists, that's not the case. We all know that there are issues with our governmental systems and it is our state government, DMs and other district officials are the ones who actually carry this out.
Okay. So let me just take this argument forward. So the argument being made here, and not in bad intention, but it's a very logical question you're putting, is because something was not existed wrong in 1947 when we were a new republic, that should be acceptable in 2025?
Not at all.
Correct?
Not at all.
No,
not at all.
Now let me ask a non-technological
Let's reform the system, but let's get data to actually say where the problems are.
So when we present
at the moment when Mr. Gandhi is presenting the data, as you yourself are admitting, is incomplete.
And the job of completing the data is the Election Commission. It can't tell me go
to job of completing the data is of the Election Commission. If something was wrong 20-30 years ago, why shouldn't we rectify it now? Respond to that.
No, my problem is that the entire theory Tehseen and Ashwani here are defending is based on an assumption that every discrepancy in the electoral risk translates into a vote. That is not how it works. I am saying the repetitions are there, the redundancies are there, they need to be fixed. Ashwani is saying we are assuming they would translate into votes. How can you assume when out of 10 electors, only 6 turn up to vote in an average assembly election? That is where my problem is. Rahul Gandhi cannot guarantee that these discrepancies are voters. These voters are voting for the BJP or they're voting once or twice or thrice. He cannot guarantee anything in the chain, but he's saying, believe me, I am saying so.
Okay.
That is not how allegations work. That is how there were allegations against the EVMs also. Was anything proven in the last 5 years? Absolutely nothing.
All right, let's leave it there. Completely out of time. Tuhin Sinha, Tehseen Poonawalla, Ashwini Kumar Mishra, Advocate Niladri Bhattacharya. I'd like to thank all of you for joining us. And in fact,